Hey guys, how y'all doing, man? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to us around the world. Welcome back to the Pokemon Unite video featuring Dragonite coming through the jungle in a Master Rank game, playing it in solo queue, doing our first gank down here at bot lane. A little bit before Bees because it looks like Duraludon and Decidueye down here got a little bit aggressive. Hey, eats their own. We're able to clear these Bees relatively easy. All I have to do is do a little bit of damage because Pikachu has this thing called, are you ready? Electro Ball. Does more damage the lower health the target is, so it's a lot easier to just do that, especially when it does AoE. But anyway, off topic. I think I'm gonna make Dragonite like a second main for me right now, at least right now in the metagame, because you know Gengar's true and holds dear to my heart, right? So obviously gonna be my overall choice. But for a secondary, I think I'm gonna start working in Dragonite, especially with my teams, my my Discord community, all that sort of thing. I think I'm gonna start working in Dragonite because I feel like in this metagame where it seems like AD carries are very, very strong, right? So Cinderace and Duraludon. It's been like that for a minute, especially with Cinderace. But considering Duraludon's in the game now, I guess he's the new form of OP, right? Let's be honest. I mean, you got Greninja, you got Cinderace, you got Duraludon. That's, you can Decidueye if you want to count him as well. But between the two, it's just Cinderace, or the four, it's Cinderace and, what do you call it? Duraludon, right? Now, where does that leave Dragonite? Because Dragonite is a, per se, a ranged attack damage, right? Carry unit, per se. And at the end of the day, he does a lot. I mean, a lot of damage, regardless of what build choice you're running. If you're running Outrage, if you're running Hyper Beam. Now, I think Outrage is a lot harder to deal with, especially in the metagame where Cinderace has Flame Charge and he's got Blaze Kick, and then you have Greninja with Double Team, and giving 80 carries per se like Red Buff, it's a lot easier to kite Dragonite out. So I don't think Outrage is the better of the two abilities to per se run in a serious ordeal. You might be able to do it in a couple games for some laughs and stuff. Yeah, sure, no problem. But in like a serious ordeal, probably not. I could be missing something, but I think Hyper Beam is still the overall better choice, right? Just because it gives you that pressure of stealing objectives, right? Now, generally speaking, when you see a Dragonite on your team or enemy team, he just generates pressure. Like, he generates that aggressive play, because at the end of the day, when you're fighting on these objectives, you always got to keep in mind that Dragonite has Hyper Beam. Now, if he's not running Hyper Beam, he's running Outrage, it's not as bad, right? It's really not, to be honest with you. It's pretty like, ha ha ha, why'd you do that? But if you're running Hyper Beam, you have that threat at all times, all stages of the game, in team fights, in objectives, everywhere. Now, that's just because if you're playing Dragonite, say properly, you're playing Dragonite well enough, you know how if you stack Dragon Dances in combat, your Hyper Beam scaling goes up, it increases in damage, right? And that's just what it is. When you're fighting at these objectives, Hyper Beam itself just can clear objectives, can clear low health targets. And the best part about that is when you're in these big group fights, generally everyone's always clumped together, let's be honest. Or somebody's going to miss position, like Decidueye or another one of the 80 carries. And you can basically collect two targets with one. You know what I mean? Hit two birds with one stone, essentially. You can Hyper Beam in the line and hit multiple targets when you're stacked up on Dragon Dances. It's very, very strong, but at the same time, I don't think he has that much outplay potential when it comes to Hyper Beam. It's pretty much a sure hit, right? Unless you have that dash at the very last second, like an Absol or a Gengar Hex away, or a double team from Greninja, like right at that millisecond, sure. But other than that, you're going to take that damage. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take that hit. Even though if you see it coming, sometimes it's very hard to react that quick. But still, Dragonite always, like I said, has that presence of being a threat. Now, when it comes to him in the jungle and or lane, he can do both. He can do both extremely, extremely well. And I much prefer him in the jungle just because, it makes sense, because the jungle farm is easier to farm for, right? It's free, it's uncontested, it's free level ups, essentially. Sorry about that. Take a drink, man. But it's free level ups. So it gives Dragonite that pressure always. And with him having Dragon Dance and his Unite move, he's allowed Draco Meteor, he's allowed to put pressure everywhere. Because Dragon Dance gives him that mobility. Draco Meteor allows him to go wherever he wants to. So close. So close. I thought my team was probably going to go in with me, but they didn't even move as I was flying in. So that was unfortunate. Now, that does happen because solo queue, right? But in a nutshell, when you're sitting here playing, you know, when it's in a team composition, you got everybody on the Discord, you got everyone on the comms and everything. It's easier to make plays like that. Just because everybody knows what you're about to do. Like I always say, like, you know what you're going to do as a player, but you don't know what your teammates are going to do in solo queue. I mean, let's be honest. We have ridiculous poke in this game right now. Like, in this team composition, ridiculous poke. Because we have Flash Cannon, we have the Decidueye with his, I think he's playing Spirit Shackles. And then, on a side note, we're sitting here with Pikachu and myself. Again, we have Mamoswine and myself to go into the fight. You know, I'm not necessarily a tank, but I'm a frontliner, right? I'm going to get up in there, I'm going to hyper beam people. That's just the way it's going to be. So you have me as a threat as well. Then you have Pikachu clearing up with Electro Ball from AoEs. Because he has that execute. I've got that execute essentially. We have a pretty good team right here. And I'm kind of surprised because in solo queue, generally everybody just goes DPS. And as you can see, everyone pretty much is DPS. But we do have one tank. We have an all-rounder, which is myself, who can actually get up in that fight and kind of protect Pikachu, kind of protect the Decidueye and Duraludon a little bit. You know, give them a fighting chance per se if they miss position. Like this guy here. He's determined to win this game, right? I mean, as we all should be, because we all should be trying to take down goals. But this man is up here. He's pushing for it. Like, he's an army of one trying to get this bot lane. He did a good job. He got a first score off because I couldn't get down there in time. But, you know, he dies for it, right? Cool. I was hoping I can get him to pop his Unite move, but he didn't do it. I was trying to hold Hyper Beam just for a little bit in case he decides to pop Unite. You know, unfortunately, he didn't do that. Get Charizard caught out. I do understand Charizard has Unite move, and this is what sometimes I try to force. I want him to try to go on top of me, especially when I have a Mamoswine here who gives me Buddy Barrier. Dude, I'm golden. Like, I have no reason to worry about this guy, but I know he doesn't have anything, so I might as well chase him down and kill him with Hyper Beam. That's 2k damage. Tinker Ninja just happened to be there. Wrong neighborhood, essentially, at the wrong time, right? Right time for me. He gets Hyper Beamed as well. We get a Decidueye caught out. I'm not going to bother chasing because he does have red buff, so I mean, there's only so far I can go. And sadly enough, Machamp hits me with that stun and punches me in the face. I mean, he's got 4 arms, boys. I'm going to get hit by one of them. It is what it is. But now, considering Mamoswine and myself, we went to the Zapdos pit. We caught out Charizard. We caught out Greninja, essentially. And then Decidueye had to be pushed back. It was a free Zapdos for us because the enemy team is all combobulated. So, I mean, it is what it is. Thankfully, by playing Dragonite, like I said, you always have that pressure. No matter what build choice you're running, if you're running Hyper Beam, no matter what item build choice you're set up with, you have that pressure to go wherever you want and to steal objectives. Now keep in mind, in this specific game, what are we running today? Buddy Barrier, Score Shield, and Muscle Band, if you didn't already guess. Now, for obvious reasons, that's super strong, right? Just like on some other Pokemon, like Crustle, very, very powerful, because he hits his Unite move, then he gets his Buddy Barrier, and he just scores, right? Very, very good. I mean, I think he does it a little bit better because he has more mobility, per se. If that makes sense, you know, he can get around the map a little bit quicker. But, at the same time, I did see this Machamp. Like, I see him, he's hitting me. But at the end of the day, I was like, how far can I go, you know? If we can kill him, I guess we can kill him. It is what it is. Like, I just wanted to fly away. He wasn't going to let me, so Mamoswine comes over. We get a stun up, we get a Hyper Beam, the man's dead. It is what it is. Now, solo queue, right? I think he knows what I'm about to do. And this is something I didn't expect. I get up here, Mamoswine's all like, crap. Look at him. Look at him, he's coming up here too. Greninja can't even take me down, he doesn't have enough damage, which is great at the end of the day. He can't burn through my shields. And this is the build setup I think Dragonite really shines with, and a lot of people kind of like disregard it. I think it's very, very strong. And again, it's Hyper Beam, a good team composition in Discord. I think this Pokemon is pretty nuts. I kind of want to pick him up as a second main. What do you guys think? But anyway, this has been Pawseplays. Hope you guys smash that like button. Come join that Discord. Come tell me I suck. It is what it is. I will catch you guys in the very next Pokemon Unite video. Stay safe out there. I'll see y'all later.